Today's agenda consists of the following. We will discuss the current situation, the challenges with that situation, the Stillwood management contract fees, a cost-benefit analysis of the Stillwood management contract, potential future state options, and recommendations. The situation is as follows. Despite a compelling occupancy and pricing situation, Hotel de l'Etoile is not generating attractive profit levels. As you can see from the graph on the left, the occupancy rate is very similar to the upscale average, as is the ADR of Hotel de l'Etoile is 168 euros versus 146 euros for the upper scale average. And the RevPAR for Hotel de l'Etoile is 131 euros versus only 115 euros for the upper upscale average in the Paris region. Now this should translate into attractive hotel financial outcomes for the hotel's owner, the Sawyer family. However, as you can see on the table to the right, the net income is only 1% of revenue, or 124,000 euros versus a room revenue of almost 12 million euros and a total revenue of 14.5 million euros. Hence, there seems to be a discrepancy between the attractive nature of the performance metrics versus the financial outcome metrics. Is related to the onerous Stillwood management contract fees that amounted to almost 15% of total revenue in 2015. The management contract identifies 6 charges or fees related to revenue or turnover. For example, item number 1 is a 5% turnover fee of close to a little over 700,000 euros, a trademark royalty fee, a marketing fee, a loyalty club fee, a distribution fee, and a CRS maintenance fee, which is the customer reservation system. In addition, there's also a share in the profit fee, which amounts to 134,000 euros. So as you can see, the total fees associated with the Stillwood management contract is 2,100 euros. Hence, it's a significant fee. A second fee is the distribution challenge. So this graph shows the channel versus percent of room revenue, and the channels in blue are those that are associated with either GTS, OTA, or bed banks, and the channels highlighted in black are related to direct, web direct, and central voice. So as you can see, a lot of the demand, in fact 37% of demand in 2015 was through the GDS OTA channel versus only 27% in 2009, which basically says that a lot of the demand is actually generated through the OTA versus the relationship associated with Stillwood. Looking at the cost-benefit analysis, on the first 8 items are the costs associated with the management contract. And as you can see, the 8th item there is the effect of the Stillwood loyalty redemption program. So if you recall, we're actually, a lot of our guests, 13% in fact, are using the hotel as loyalty points to redeem their rooms, and they're paying only on average 95 euros per night versus our average of over 160 euros. So it's a significant cost to us to bear for Stillwood loyalty. Now there are benefits of the Stillwood relationship. So I've listed 4 here. Presumably there's an increase in premium room pricing from the Stillwood brand. Two, there is savings associated with using Stillwood's information technology and management systems. Three, presumably Stillwood loyalty members would perhaps prefer to use Hotel de l'Etoile because they can earn points using in their loyalty program. And then four, there certainly is potential of using the Stillwood loyalty data to retarget or market those large number of members. So the benefits, as you can see, the net benefit is significantly negative, and hence we need to really reevaluate the relationship with Stillwood. In fact, future state options. The first is to maintain the status quo. I've listed here pros and cons and short-term dollar-euro impact and long-term euro impact, both of which are obviously the same as the current state. Number two, we could renegotiate with Stillwood. That has the advantage of maximizing the Stillwood brand, but the con is we probably don't have a lot of negotiating power, and the short-term and long-term euro impacts are both negative. The third option is to use a collection, which is increasingly a trend. For example, Marriott's autograph collection is a way to have a mix of independence, but yet still leverage the mega brand or Stillwood support. We don't yet know the costs of that. We're assuming it's about a third of what we're paying now, so it's still pretty significant. The fourth option will be to sign with a new brand. We have the potential to negotiate better terms, armed with the knowledge of having gone through the Stillwood contract over the past 10 years. But presumably it would be very similar to Stillwood as with mega brand type of contract. The fifth option is to use a soft brand, which actually is very attractive because many of those soft brand firms, for example, the leading hotels of the world, actually are geared towards family-owned luxury properties. Now, we don't really know the cost yet, but presumably they are perhaps about 5 to 10% of a mega brand contract. Six, we could go independent. That has potentially very attractive returns, but there are significant costs and risks associated with doing that. And a seventh option could be to sell the property. We could have a potentially attractive exit if there's a willing buyer, but we could be missing out on some long-term potential gains. We would like to explore 5 key tactical activities. So first, approach Stillwood to explore renegotiating the contract. Number 2, approach Stillwood and 2 other mega brands to explore some sort of soft brand deal structure. 3, explore collections as a way to better understand their deal structure and fees. 4, engage an external advisor to understand the costs associated with going independent. 5, engage an external advisor to explore the market for selling the property as well as the current market value of the property. That being said, most likely Stillwood will not renegotiate better terms, nor will a mega brand, and the costs and risks associated with going independent are high, and assuming that we do not want to sell the property at this time, it's most likely that to maximize the long-term value of the property, it's best to either transition to a soft brand or a collection. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to your feedback.